CMMS Radio talks about all things CMMS, computerized maintenance management software, focused on maintenance management. It's the people, the process, and the culture that make your CMMS journey a success. All right, we're back on Friends of Nano. We're at SMRP 33. It's 2025. We're right down the street from Dallas in Fort Worth, Texas, and I am joined by Daniel and Candi with Ultimo. And first of all, I want to welcome you to the Nanosphere, because being Friends of Nano means you're in the mix with Nanoprecise. That's important because, well, obviously you have a solution with Ultimo that makes sense for people that use Nanoprecise, and Nanoprecise has a solution that makes sense for Ultimo users. So first of all, Candi, welcome to Friends of Nano and CMMS Radio.
Absolutely. Thank you, Greg. We are thrilled to be here and in the Nano booth.
Yeah, it's fun stuff. And Daniel, long time coming, man. Nice to see you in person and have you on.
Long time listener, first time being here. Really appreciate it, Greg.
So, first off, for you, Candi, I think you and I talked about this before coming to conference, that this is going to be your first conference experience at SMRP. And as far as the layout, all the different people, all the interactions on the floor, how has that been for you so far? Has it lived up to your expectations, gone beyond it, anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, it just couldn't be any better. The expo floor, the clients we're interacting with, the other vendors, and really to be in the booth with Nanoprecise and talking about where we have that, combined energy around clients that are really interested in where energy, consumption and energy-centered maintenance can not only help them move towards that, sustainability and some of those initiatives they have, but also the integration into an EAM system that moves them towards a proactive or predictive maintenance process, right? So it's been phenomenal.
Now, you later on during the conference, you're going to be presenting on that topic. We talked about it on our pre-event episode. Can you give a little kind of color around the topical nature of that presentation and why it kind of matters?
Yeah, absolutely. Really looking forward to that. It's our customers still making an investment in their ESG strategies, and what does that look like today? Where regulations are changing, is it still a priority? And what we're seeing is, yes, it's absolutely a commitment that the market continues to make in those sustainability goals that they have, despite regulations changing. So really, really looking forward to presenting what we have found in our 2025 trend report from Ultimo, and 75% of asset managers saying that they are staying with the investment they've made in really aggressive goals by 2030 and 2050.
And so I'm going to switch it over to you, Daniel. I've seen you over at the booth. You got traffic coming through. Are there any particular conversations that are coming up, whether they're related to what Candi was talking about there or anything else? I'm always curious, what are people at the booth asking you about? What are they struggling with? Anything new? Is it the same old stuff? What do you got for me there?
I've heard of a lot of interesting topics, from just work order management to finding out what is actually happening when it comes to an asset availability and how downtime reports. I've been hearing a lot of interesting things. There hasn't been one thing in particular, which has been kind of cool because it's been all over the place. But I would say a lot of it's just collaboration between departments is what we've been hearing a lot of, and how that's something that they would like to be able to have better insights, better details, and be able to capture the insights on that.
And then for you, is this your first SMRP or have you been before?
This is my first SMRP, and I've got to say, it's been an exciting place to be.
Did you get to do anything in Fort Worth yet? Like get out, maybe go to the stockyards, anything like that?
Nothing yet. It's all been on the show floor, and it's been just having the conversations in general with our clients and with the people, and hearing it from firsthand has been a world changing. It's been really, really helpful for me and to understand what's going on in the marketplace and then also what's happening on the shop floor.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and for me, it's my first one too, so it's really interesting. They had to cancel it last year. I think the idea behind getting around, maintenance and reliability professionals, because it is the Society of Maintenance and Reliability Professionals, is something I like to do because I get that opportunity to learn. So I want to switch it back to you, Candy. When it comes to this overall kind of society and working with these types of people, do you find that most people are familiar with what you're focused on when it comes to ESG and those types of things and the sustainability, or do you have to spend some time educating them on what it really is and those types of things so that they
Yeah.
see how it
I,
connects?
I think what's really cool is now. I mean, this is a conversation that I've been having for a decade, and I think what I'm finding now and today, even at SMRP, is it's absolutely something that our maintenance and reliability professionals are tied into as one of the key drivers within their organization. It's not just something coming from the boardroom. It is really important at every level of the organization. And so I think I am getting validation that this is important. Again, I'm going to go back to there's been some great conversations around where having a solution like Nanoprecise and the sensors, but the data coming from that and driving action from it, not only in that proactive, how is my asset consuming energy, but what's that an indicator and how do I maintain that equipment to actually, have a really positive impact on energy consumption. It's cost control, but it's also that sustainability goal that's been set by the organization. And the fact that our asset managers are understanding that as one of the key drivers just makes me incredibly happy.
Yeah, it gets that's the whole concept of getting things connected so you get the right kind of data with the right type of context that can influence the behaviors operationally from a maintenance perspective, from an organizational perspective, to drive the consumption down, improve the overall operation of these equipment assets. And I think that's essentially what we're always trying to do. But this is a way to look at it. Like you say, you've been focused on it for at least a decade, and that's certainly not going to change because it's an opportunity. We hear about people chasing down net zero, big companies making big investments in that. I've got a conference coming up in a couple of weeks over in the UK where I'm going to learn a lot about that. And I know Ultimo is going to have a presence at that conference too. That's the Mainstream UK Summit. So I'm excited to see some of your team members over there. I want to switch it back to Daniel now. And I'm curious, I know you're in the booth and you're talking to people. Have you had any opportunities, I don't know the answer to this, to attend any sessions or go and visit with anybody outside of the booth, like at their booths, and learn anything?
Yeah, I've actually had a really good opportunity to meet with some of our partners where, when we're working remote, you don't really get to hang out with a lot of people, but to sit back and actually have a conversation with our partner MaxGrip has been wonderful. Having conversations with Alex to understand what the implementation looks like for some of these larger companies that are going to be moving over, and looking at this data that Candy had pointed out has been extremely helpful, and to give myself a better look at the way that that works, because I think that's one of the more important things that most people don't think about is what does this look like when we actually have to implement it? What are the plans? Where's the expertise that comes in? And that's something that I've been able to pick up from our team over there.
I
Yeah, and
think one of
that's
the things that Daniel said earlier, though, is what we're seeing is more of that connection between departments and looking for solutions that are going to give visibility across the organization. So your operations, maintenance, reliability, health and safety, having one solution where there's some of that quantifiable outcome that they can be working together as one team to deliver to the organization. Um, and I think that's one of the things that we have seen, come through in the conversations that we're having with the vendors on the floor as well as, in the sessions.
Yeah, it reminds me of this constant that we talk about for years and years now, where we want to break down data silos, but we also want to break down the other silos that are, I suppose I would call them departmental silos, where we're really making more of an effort to connect the team in a cohesive way to the entire organization. And it sounds like a broken record, but we have to keep talking about it like this, so that one person here and one person there start thinking about it in a different way. And I think that's one of the goals, for a conference like this, where we're not just at booths trying to sell our wares. We're not just in learning sessions trying to take in those new or old perspectives and gain strategies and insights around how to actually implement and kind of make those things stick, but all the conversations that happen on the side. So switching it back to you, Daniel, I suspect, kind of like what you were talking about, being able to meet with an actual partner, an integration partner, people that you work with virtually, you get to have conversations that are certainly not recorded, and you can speak a little more freely, and it gives you a view to the future as to what's really happening out there. And you would say the same thing, Candi. So I want to, first of all, thank both of you for being here with me at SMRP on Friends of Nano, and I look forward to what's coming next for Ultimo and getting in this Nanosphere, I like to call it, where you're going to be doing things with Nanoprecise, helping their clients and vice versa. And I hope you both have a phenomenal remaining experience for SMRP 2025. Thanks for being here with me.
Thank you, Greg.
Absolutely. Thanks, Greg.
Did you find this episode helpful? Please send us some feedback, suggest a topic, or ask a question. Reach out to CMMS Radio if you need a co-pilot on your CMMS project. Visit CMMSradio.com and use the What's on Your Mind link. Thank you for tuning in to CMMS Radio, your resource for all things CMMS, from selection to implementation, to help you make better choices, learn from industry experts, and have a successful CMMS journey.